This is what one commercial version of the supplement looks like. It is for sale in several stores in Keene, and it is not illegal to sell or to purchase. Kratom comes from a tropical evergreen tree found in Southeast Asia. Some people have tried using it to treat opioid withdrawals, as well as taking the supplement for the purpose of getting high. Now, federal regulators are expressing concern about kratom. In February 2018, the FDA released a statement saying kratom had a potential for abuse. According to the FDA, right now there is no reliable evidence that it can be used for opioid use disorder. New data is showing kratom's compounds have some of the same properties as opioids. PBS has reported the Department of Health and Human Services sent a letter to the Drug Enforcement Administration in 2018 asking for action. The letter stated the DEA needs to classify kratom as a Schedule I drug. Scientists say fully banning kratom would harm people who are currently using the substance, especially those taking it instead of an opiate, as well as people who are now hooked on kratom itself. One person I talked to who has used the supplement says it's getting a worse reputation than it should, but still has potential to be dangerous.
With everything, you kind of have to take in moderation, and you have to feel it out yourself and test your body. But for the most part, I think it's safe compared to other mind-altering drugs.
To date, the DEA has not taken any official action on kratom. However, Alabama, Arkansas, Indiana, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Wisconsin have banned the supplement. Julia Eichman, KSC-TV.
Seniors anxious about the next step should start here. It's the Academic and Career Advising Center. Here you can get help with everything from resume writing to interviewing.
I just worked with a student who just found out she got into an arts management graduate program that she really wants to go to. And we did an interview prep, and she had the interview the next day, and she wound up getting into the degree program.
Some students will already be graduating with jobs. Thomas Walters is one of them. ACA helped him plan a success strategy.
For America, they laid out all the types of resources I had available to me that I could use throughout the entire application process, and then also the kind of post-application process on either if I got into Teach for America or other avenues I could pursue. And so we'd actually, in a way, kind of planned a plan B and also a plan C.
For more information on how to set up an individual appointment, the ACA is located right here on the first floor of the Elliott Center. Julia Eichman, KSC-TV.
Keene State is making strides toward diversity. Find out how.
And we'll show you how the community is rallying around one Keene State student who was injured in a severe car crash.
Those stories and more are next on KSC-TV. And I'm Julia Eichman. Thanks for tuning in this evening. A man accused of drug dealing and involvement in 3 alleged assaults in Brattleboro faces federal drug distribution charges. The Sentinel reports Shaquan Coop was arraigned in U.S. District Court in Vermont. According to the Vermont Department of Corrections, Coop is being held at the Northwest State Correctional Facility in Swanton, Vermont. Investigators are looking to a fire on Park Avenue Tuesday morning. The Keene Sentinel reports that the interior of the house has suffered significant damage. There was no one home at the time of the fire. Keene State is nearly 89% white. Of its 3,487 students, only 329 students are of color. KSC-TV's Adriana Sanchez talked to these students about how comfortable they feel being a minority here on campus. You can find out more about the college's diversity programs on the college webpage. Go to keene.edu. Again, that's keene.edu. Keene State College dietetic interns are helping those in Keene eat healthier. Keene State dietetic interns prepare healthy, seasonal snacks in Jocelyn every other Friday. These snacks are given out as samples at the Monadnock Food Co-op downtown, along with these recipes and pamphlets on healthy eating. The program director says it's a great learning experience for the interns. Delightfully Healthy is happening every other Friday now through May 3rd. The 29th Annual President's Outstanding Women of New Hampshire Award ceremony will take place on Monday, March 4th. A Keene State News release says this year's theme is Visionary Women, Champions of Peace and Nonviolence. 4 women are being honored this year. The Student Award is going to Bria Robillard. The Faculty and Staff Award goes to Dr. Therese Siebert, and this year's state honoree is Eva Castillo. And for the Monadnock region, the honoree is Sandra Wallace. This ceremony will be held in Norma Walker Hall and the Alumni Center at 6:30 Monday evening. We'll be back next week at this same time. We'll see you then, and have a good evening. This is a KSC TV News Update. I'm Julia Eichman. Democratic presidential candidate and former congressman of Texas, Beto O'Rourke, drew a large crowd last night at Keene State. The Sentinel reports hundreds of people filled the LP Young Student Center to hear him speak. O'Rourke's messages focus on uniting the U.S., overcoming differences, and holding high levels of respect within political discourse. Approximately a dozen houses in Walpole are without running water after a break in a minor service line yesterday morning. Water service operator Stephen Greenier says the town was alerted of the break in the area of Dearborn Circle around 7:30 a.m. Greenier says water should be restored to all of the homes affected by this evening. New Hampshire is the latest state to consider restricting plastic bags and plastic straws. Separate bills have passed in the House focusing on consumer plastics. One bill will prohibit stores larger than 1,000 square feet from offering plastic bags to customers. Another bill would keep restaurants from offering straws and instead require customers to specifically ask for them. Both bills are on their way to the Senate. This has been a KSD TV News Update. I'm Julia Eichman. This is a KSD TV News Update. I'm Julia Eichman. A parent who lost their daughter to a heroin addiction is speaking out. Tonight, Anne Marie and Jim Zamfaga are talking tonight at the Keene Family YMCA. The Zamfagas lost their 20-year-old daughter to an overdose in 2014. They're now part of the organization Angels of Addiction and are taking their story around the country. A Vermont-based group has stopped their plans to open up a treatment facility home for girls, located at 361 Court Street in Keene. The Sentinel reports VPI South had intentions to open the facility for girls who have experienced long periods of trauma. The group's director of leadership, Lorraine Coburn, says they are no longer pursuing that plan but did not specify why. The property will remain empty for the time being. Democratic presidential hopeful Beto O'Rourke is coming to Keene State College tomorrow. The former Texas congressman will be speaking out in the Young Student Center at 6:40 Tuesday night. This has been a KSD TV News Update. I'm Julia Eichman. This is a KSD TV News Update. I'm Julia Eichman. A United Nations report says millions could die from air and water pollution by the year 2050. The Sentinel reports their prediction comes from the 6th Global Environment Outlook report issued last week. To prevent worsening conditions, the report calls for the public to reduce land degradation, limit pollution, improving water management, and mitigating climate change. The United Nations has also called for environmental considerations in all social and economic decisions within policy creation and every government level. 2 people have been injured in a crash on Route 9 in Keene this morning. The Sentinel reports the crash happened this morning at the Washington Street and Route 9 intersection. Lieutenant Stephen Tenney says one vehicle appeared to be turning left from Washington Street onto Route 9 and collided with the second vehicle going east on Route 9. Tenney says the crash resulted in one driver with a leg injury and the other had minor injury. No further details were available. Keene State Athletics is welcoming a new athletic director, Philip Rassicott. Rassicott has over 20 years of experience working in collegiate athletics. His appointment is effective starting May 31st. This has been a KSC TV News Update. I'm Julia Eichman.